again. Hi, and welcome back to Danny's Academic Corner. If you may or may not know, this channel is dedicated to talking about all things that concern navigating the academic journey. If you haven't seen my previous videos, I do encourage you to check them out so you get to know a bit more about the channel and a bit more about myself. But in a nutshell, we're all about professional and personal development over here. So as you can see from the title, this video will be talking about navigating the first year of university. I remembered being a first year student, even though I was excited, but I was super nervous and overwhelmed because I was stepping into a new environment and it was just different. And I remembered when we had orientation day, all they did, they just showed us, around the campus. This building is over there and that building is over there. And then they gave us a pamphlet and that was it. Like, good luck. I really do feel that as a first year student, there are certain things you need to know to just make that first year go as smoothly as possible. No matter which university you're at, I think there are certain things that are beneficial to know, and these things are universal. And especially now we're in this online learning era or blended learning as we're transitioning back to normal lectures or contact lectures. It's good to just kind of get an idea of your learning space, whether it's online or physically on campus. Yes, this is about academic development, but you're not going to flourish academically if you're not comfortable in your learning space. So that's what I'm really going to talk about in today's video. So let's just jump straight into it. Like some of the vital points or things you need to know as a first year student. So point number one is getting to know your university's website. Now, I know with a lot of these university websites, you're flooded with information and news and portals and tabs, and it's very overwhelming. But what I would say is to just get to know the web pages that are important to you as a student. So some of these key web pages include, obviously, where you can download like learning resources such as lecture videos, learning materials like articles and journals or assignments and activities. That's very, very important to know, as well as the online library. I know where I work, my university, and I'm sure most universities, there's a library page where you can download journals or you can find out if the books that you're looking for are available in the physical library. So definitely learn how to navigate those pages, as well as the page for fees and finances, because universities will have like deadlines and cutoff dates in terms of when to make payments. So you definitely need to know that, or the person who's responsible for paying your fees, they need to know that information. If you're an international student, you need to know the web page for international student affairs in terms of maybe visa related information or medical aid or housing related information as an international student, or where the school's international office or the people that you need to email, their contact details, very important to know. And then generally as students, you need to know your faculty or your discipline's website so that you get information about the course or the modules that you're doing that semester, the email address and phone numbers of the staff in your faculty, because these are the people that will be lecturing you, maybe not just in first year, but first year, second year, and third year. So definitely get to know their contact details, even things in terms of the kind of research that they're in, so that you can ask them questions in your lecture. And of course, what's another web page where you can find out your assessment results? I know with my university we have a portal that will show your grades for tests and exams. It's also good to know that portal. And then another important web page, the university's academic calendar. So you have an idea of how the year is going to go in terms of when first semester is ending, when the second semester is starting, when do exams start, and when do you guys have holidays and all of that stuff. So definitely check those key web pages out just as a start. Over time, you'll gradually get to know all the other web pages. And even for me, like sometimes I'll Google if I'm looking for certain information and I don't know how to find it on the university page. I'll just Google my university and the information or the person that I'm looking for, and then usually I'll get a link that will send me straight to the information that I'm looking for. So just start there. Okay, let's move on to point number 2, and that is getting to know key locations or key buildings in the university or on campus, especially now that we're transitioning back to contact lectures, or universities are now opening up the space so students can come in and use facilities. So know where the library is, know where the IT facilities are, or the IT help desk where their office is, especially if you have technology related issues or you need help in terms of how to use certain online learning resources. Know where the fees office is, know where the clinic is, because universities offer free healthcare services. So you definitely want to take advantage of that. So definitely check that out, where the cafeteria is, and of course lecture venues or lab venues if you have to come to university for certain lectures or certain practicals. And don't be afraid to ask. Of course, it's very important. Like, people are willing to help, and that's actually how I got to know where certain things are, by asking people to show me where a building is or give me directions. And most universities, they'll usually have like signpost just or labels directing you to main buildings on the campus. So that's point number 2, getting to know your location and your environment. Let's move on to the third point, and that is all about scheduling or time management. I want to encourage you guys from the onset to have a plan for the semester. So first of all, download your timetable, or you can make your own timetable. I know many of us come from high school when we start first year, so you're probably used to having a timetable. And the good thing with university, you do about 4 modules per semester. So it's not as intense as maybe school subjects when you're doing up to 10 subjects. But have a timetable and slot in the dates when you have lectures, when you have tutorials. And then also have like a monthly planner or a monthly timetable, and when like things are due, like assessments or projects, you can write the due dates. So that's really going to help you keep track of things, and you get an idea of how your month is looking like. That really helped me as a first year student in terms of getting organized and staying on track in terms of the things that I'm doing. And then of course, make time for the things that you love doing, like hanging out with your friends, going to social events, but prioritize, of course, the activities that the academic activities, like attending lectures, attending tutorials, and making time to work on your projects and assessments. Alrighty, now let's move on to our next point, and that is all about friendship. Friendship is really important. It really helps when you meet people that you connect with, and you can all just, figure out this whole academic space or academic life together. But it's very important to be intentional about the people that you allow in your inner circle. I know with most friendships, they happen organically, and usually we make friends with the people that we're in the same lectures or tutorials with. But be like intentional or be discerning about the people that you allow in your space. I do remember that there were people, because they know you attend lectures or you participate, they want to come close so that they can benefit from the information that you're learning, but they don't really have an intention to create a genuine friendship with you. So be mindful of that and really just create a circle whereby people prioritize school, but of course make friends with people who also have other interests, similar interests to you in terms of the things that you love doing, or people you just genuinely vibe with and you love hanging out with them and they make you laugh. I mean, that's how most friendships develop, over maybe having something in common or people that you vibe with. So I'm not saying just pick friends who are smart and intelligent. Just let the friendships grow organically, but keep your wits about you in terms of friendship. Last point is don't be afraid. Now, I know this sounds a bit vague, but what I mean by this, when we start university, we are interacting with so many people from different backgrounds, and it's so easy to feel a bit intimidated. I'll take myself for an example. When I did politics in first year, there were a bunch of law students in my class, and they'll use all these bombastic words when they were speaking, and then after that I'll just feel like a bit like nervous or intimidated to share my ideas because my vocab is not as fancy. But really what I want to encourage you guys is don't ever miss an opportunity to share your ideas or share yourself. If you don't know something, ask. If you don't know what a word means, ask. Really don't be afraid. This is the opportunity not only to learn the degree or the profession that you're studying, but also to grow as a person, to build certain interpersonal skills like networking, your public speaking, your confidence. So put yourself out there, get to know other people, share ideas, exchange thoughts, not just in terms of the academic stuff, but your personal ideas. You're really going to benefit from this, not only in first year, but throughout university. The more you position yourself to grow, learn new things, join clubs, it's really going to be beneficial to your growth within university and outside of university, because you're going to be using those skills in the workplace and also retaining those networks that you made in university. You can leverage them when you leave university. Okay, so just to recap, I just kept it short today and talked 5 important points. So the first point is, navigate your university's website and get to know important web pages that are important to you. Second point, I talked about getting to know key buildings and locations that are useful for you, like the clinic and lecture venues and so on. The third thing that I talked about is scheduling and managing your time so that you'll stay on track with what you're doing in the semester or in the month. Then the second to last thing that I talked about, it's about ensuring that your friendships are intentional, or you are discerning of the people that you allow close to you. That's very, very vital. And then finally, I talked about not being afraid, but making every moment count and ensuring that you leverage the opportunities. And we do that by not being afraid. All right, so I'm gonna close the video here today, but before closing, please leave comments in the comment section. If you're a first year student and you've got questions or queries, or you want clarity on anything that I talked about in today's video, or just other questions that you have about the university life, please share them in the comment section. If you've graduated and you've got maybe advice or tips for first year students, also leave a comment down below, or maybe put down something you wish you would have known when you were starting university. I think that would be really useful. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it there for today, but thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.